Videodrome, Videodrome. Don't watch this movie unless you want to have hallucinations for the rest of your life, which isn't very long, considering you're going to kill yourself at the end. Hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy here. Number 248, David Cronenberg's Videodrome. And I would show you the cover. I had to show you the thing here because they had to put the sticker right over the cover. It's like, I guess I'm glad because I would prefer to see the description. I kind of want to know what I'm looking at, and especially all the supplements, so I guess they put it. But I like the cover. It's got his head in the TV and all that. Anyway, but I love the cassette. I love this cassette thing, And it was either singing a song or doing this, trying to shove this in here, but it won't go in. How far put this finger? Yeah, it won't go in. Well, won't do it. I guess I'm not hallucinating. I guess I'm okay. Anyway, 1983, 89 minutes color. Yeah, so, anyway, let me tell you about this one. This one actually, of the three Cronenberg movies we've seen, this is definitely the best. Dead Ringers was, Naked Lunch was blah, and Videodrome. But Videodrome, this one, I put on my wish list when I started an account on Criterion.com. And because I just looked really interesting. I heard some good things about it. I think I asked my brother about it, and he liked it. So yeah, it's staying basically. It will be a part of me, Anyway, so let me tell you about this one real quick. The movie stars James Woods as Max Wren, who is a TV producer, and he's got this channel 83. It's a small station that plays like a lot of like obscene, like pornographic shows and very shockable shows. One called Samurai Dreams with this geisha girl who has sex with a clay dildo or something like that. So he's looking for all these different shows or something like that. And his coworker Harlan finds this pirate station TV show, shows this show called Videodrome, which is basically like these weird hooded figures like whipping these women, torturing these people, basically. And so he wants to find out more about it, but at the same time, Max Wren appears on this talk show with this person, I think she's a radio personality called Nikki Brand, played by Debbie Harry, lead singer of Blondie. And she's kind of like a little more moralistic, I guess, but at the same time, Max starts to flirt with her and, mess with her and all that. And on the same show is a guy named Brian Oblivion, who isn't on the show. He's like live via satellite, and he's on there because he doesn't appear in public. So anyway, so Max and Nikki date, and Nikki comes back to Max's place, and I guess she is a little dirtier than she puts on the show, because her first, one of the first words she says when she comes back is, "Got any porno?" And so he shows her video. He ends up showing her Videodrome because he taped it, and she's really turned on by it. And she reveals that she's into like all this pleasure and pain stuff, and she's got like these like knife nicks on her neck. And so basically they have sex, and she convinces her to like stick needles in her. And yeah, so anyway, so his friend, whose name I can't remember, so he's a friend who's trying to sell him this show. Masha, this show that's basically just like this, softcore porn, Adonis and idiocy. So he asks her to find out more about Videodrome, and she finds out that apparently it's very subterranean. It's a little more political than Max would Max should want, and basically she basically warns him to stay away. Because this is a little heavier than she thought it would be, and he thinks it is. So anyway, so at the same time, Nikki wants to go audition for the show, and he tells her don't go. He tells her not to do it while she basically burns herself with a cigarette. Burns the lit cigarette. Yeah, so that happens, and I guess she goes off, and so Max. I'm trying to think what happens next. I'm trying to remember. Max basically starts to he finds out, he finds where Brian Oblivion works, and he meets his daughter, and he finds out that he doesn't go out in public, and but he's willing to send Max a video message. And so he gives him the video message, and Max watches it, and he begins to start hallucinating, having these hallucinations of Nikki on his TV, and at one point he like sticks his head through the TV, which is the awesome cover, which I wish I could show you. And at one point he goes to his work, and he hallucinates that he slapped his secretary because he thinks that he slapped Nikki when he didn't slap anyone. And so there's that. And oh gosh, what did I say? So he goes back to confront Bianca again, because the VHS tape starts to breathe too. That's classic Cronenberg, the special effects. And so anyway, so he goes back to Bianca, and she finally reveals to him that Videodrome killed Brian a long time ago. And all of what people see of him are from videotapes that I guess he taped long before his death. Because at one point during the video that he saw, a hooded figure kills Brian, and it turns out to be Nikki. And so so he goes and he finds all these tapes of Brian, and he studies them all. And at one point, he begins to hallucinate that he's got this like VHS port in his stomach, and which people can like plug VHS tapes in. And so anyway, so he finds out that the makers, or I guess, so the people, the big corporation behind Videodrome is a group called Spectacular Optical, run by a guy named Barry Convex. I think his name is Barry Convex. Right? Barry Convex? Yeah, Barry Convex. And we find out that apparently Harlan has been working for Convex since like he got involved with Max. So that's how Brian was able to make. I'm assuming that's how it was. How Brian was able to make the tape for Max, because he knew about Max for a very long time. Long before Brian was killed. So anyway, so Barry goes and tells him that he wants to record his hallucinations. So he puts this big helmet on, and he starts to hallucinate that I guess he's whipping Nikki, when on the TV we see Masha, and I'm trying to think of what happens next. So maybe I'm starting to blank out as to what happens next. We're gonna follow the thing here. So basically his hand starts to turn into a gun, and so he goes and he's sent to go kill Bianca from Barry. Like, he programs him to kill Bianca, but Bianca stops him in time and reprograms him to go take down Videodrome. And so first he goes to kill Harlan, and then he goes to kill Barry, who's at this convention, I guess, showing all these new people their spring line of optical glasses, whatever. And so there's that, and so he goes and he jumps on stage and shoots him, and he falls dead, and his body, and this is the classic Cronenberg scene, this scene I was waiting for, because I know about this exploding head in the scanners. The top gets him one better, and this whole body like just, and then the maggots crawl out, and his body breaks open, and all this weird guts just fly out of this thing, and it's just like, it's creepy, and it's classic, and I loved it. It's like, ho ho ho, ho ho ho. That's the kind of scene. That's the kind of horror that's like, yes. So anyway, so with his mission complete, Max goes off to like this abandoned like ship or something, and he sits down and he's like trying to think of what to do next, and he sees this TV in front of him, and Nikki tells him that the final step is to join her by abandoning the old flesh for the new. And so basically when he says, well, how do I do that? And he shows her a video of himself sitting in front of a fire, and he pulls a gun onto himself and says, long live the new flesh, and shoots himself. And when he shoots himself on the TV, guts come out of the TV explodes and guts come out, and the fire starts, and the same shot, we see the same shot again, but for real, so we assume that Max kills himself by pointing a gun to his head and saying "Long live the new flesh," shooting gun, and that's about it. So yeah, so that's the end of the movie. Great movie. I don't have anything else to really say about it. It's a fantastic little movie. Cronenberg shines. His direction shines. Still a really confusing movie at plot times. Definitely want to see it again and just try and get a better grasp on the whole political aspect of it and why exactly Videodrome exists. I feel like there's a bit that I missed, but for the most part, I just thought it was a great movie as it was. So because of that, A-. I'll give it an A-, just because of the minus because of those little confusing bits that I probably still won't get after watching it again. But anyway, yeah. So Videodrome, A-, great movie. I'm definitely gonna get it. Plenty of supplements on the Blu-ray. Let's talk about the little supplements. There's a short film that Cronenberg did in 2000 called Camera, which stars what's his name? The guy who plays Barry Convicts, Les Carlson. And he plays this old man who talks about these kids who find a camera, and apparently they're his kids or something, or like they're kids who have him kidnapped, and they tell him that these kids are like something like else, and they make him do these movies, and yeah, so they're just these normal looking kids, but I guess they're even creepier than we're supposed to make them out to be, or something like that. So, a little interesting film, and I guess it's supposed to tie into Videodrome because he says I used to be an actor, and so I guess Les Carlson. So. So what else is there? Forging the New Flesh, which is a half-hour documentary about the special effects. It was done for the original 2004 documentary, the 2004 pressing rather, and it was made by Michael Lennick, who worked on Videodrome, and interviews with Rick Baker and others. And then there's the Effects Men, which has an interview with which is an audio interview with Cronenberg, Baker, and Lennick, talking more about the special features, special effects. What else is here? Bootleg Video, which is a section that features 3 unedited excerpts from the movie. The whole Samurai Dreams sequence, and it has the whole Videodrome torture sequence, and then the whole sequence, all the test sequences for when Max wears the helmet to him record his hallucinations. What else is there? There's Fear on Film, which is an episode from a show called Take One, which was done shortly before Videodrome was done, and it was a roundtable discussion led by Mick Garris with 3 directors, 3 horror directors. John Landis, who did American Werewolf in London, as well as Animal House, Blues Brothers, and John Carpenter, who did Halloween and The Fog, and Cronenberg. And so they basically just talk about horror and its role in film, and they talk about each of their films and what experiences they did. And the whole time I was watching, I was like, wouldn't it be great if all 3 of these directors got together and made like the ultimate horror film? I mean, with Landis's comedy, Landis has a great sense of comedy and like dialogue, snappy dialogue. Carpenter's pacing, with Halloween, I love the Halloween series, and just like timing his scares, and then Cronenberg's special effects, he has great special effects. So if all 3 of them got together, oh boy, that would be the ultimate movie, wouldn't it? Ultimate horror film, or whatever they want to make. If they want to make a comedy, they'll make the comedy, whatever. So yeah, so anyway, that was kind of fun to see the 3 of them together. And of course, there's trailers, a short little featurette, promotional featurette of the making of Videodrome, and stills gallery, photos, and all that stuff. So yeah, so that's it. Videodrome, A-, great film, definitely gonna get it, and yeah. So, as I mentioned before, I had a special guest who was gonna come in today and do Videodrome with me. However, things fell apart this last minute, and so we had to reschedule. We are going to do Eyes Without a Face. We're going to try to do Eyes Without a Face. I don't know when. It'll be sometime soon after the new year. Probably maybe the first day of the new year. I'm not sure what our schedules are. But yeah, so there's that. But before that, obviously, Port of Shadows, I've ordered it. It is on its way. And yeah, so we will get to that one. We'll probably do that one after that'll probably be done after the Cassavetes box set, because I don't think I would really want to interrupt it, unless it somehow like shows up tomorrow or something like that, in which case I'll do it, you know, or I'll just move the Battle of Algiers forward, you know. But anyway, but yeah, Battle of Algiers for now. Battle of Algiers is on Saturday, and then yeah, next week the Cronenberg box, the Cassavetes box set, not Cronenberg. Yeah, Shadows Faces, Woman Under the Influence, Killing the Chinese Bookie, opening night, Constant Forge, and then hopefully by then we'll do Port of Shadows and the Secret Honor, Tanner 88, Fat Girl, Eyes Without a Face, Fanny Alexander, and I forget what's after that. So yeah, we'll be head well into the new year, and we are halfway through. If you consider the fact that we are, you know, that if you don't consider the box set spine number as part of the movies, then we're halfway through the season. I mean, this is only number 248, but shoot, we're halfway through, and that's so cool. Yeah, it's really neat. And we're gonna be well over halfway through after well into the new year. So anyway, so yeah, that's all I can say. I feel like something else I'm missing. Nope, can't think of anything else. I'm sure I'm missing something, but anyway, yeah. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Don't watch Videodrome unless you think that you can handle it, because you may not come back. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Until then, long live the new flesh.